Hello everybody, welcome back to Change with Dane. I'm Dane Campbell. I'm recording this on 6 October 2025. Hey, today I wanted to talk a little bit about finding support in changing thought and behavior. We've talked about motivation. We talked about how to pick the behavior or the thought that you want to work on. We've talked about many strategies in how to actually set these processes up so that you can find simple means of putting yourself on a schedule to either add to things in your life that can bring greater peace and success, or eradicate things in your life that will bring greater peace and success. And when I say eradicate, understand that I'm not looking for perfection. I think that perfectionism can really put us on a path to shaming or guilting ourselves when we aren't reaching the epitome of perfection. So let's work on the good enough level, which is a change in habit, in thought or behavior that overall can bring you greater peace and overall can bring you greater success in life. So I wanted to talk about support, and I hope that this discussion will help you look for and find positive support if you need it in this process of change. Support can come in any number of different ways. But I think what I want to talk about today is support of other people and at different levels. So a lot of people can turn to their loved ones, their family, significant other, the people that are close to them, live in the same household with them. There's a lot of people that can turn to these individuals and ask them for support. And please, when you're doing this, be sure that you're specific about what you want them to do. So make sure that they understand that you're not giving them responsibility for the change. That rests squarely upon each and every one of us who is making the effort to change. So that's first and foremost. Set that limit. You're not asking them to change you in any way, shape, or form. But do let them know what would be helpful from them, whether it's a kind word, noticing that you're putting in the effort, pointing out when they see that you have done something more or less of, depending on what it is you decided that you needed to change. And if you have those people in your life who love you, care about you, and they're your family and friends, they will be willing to give you that support in the way that you ask for it, so that it increases the likelihood and the motivation, which we talked about last week, to continue on this process of change. So I've counseled many people, talked to a lot of people, have had many people work with me and for me, and I know that some people do not live in a situation where the people around them on a daily basis could offer them that type of support. And so if we look out and away from ourselves, just maybe at the next level, maybe what we look for at that point is a coach or a mentor, a trusted teacher, a friend that we have that has always been there for us. So we look out and away from ourselves and what's swirling right around next to us if we don't find that support there. And maybe we go to somebody who is a little bit more removed from our lives, or doesn't live directly with us, and ask them for support. It's been my experience that most people who call ourselves friends, mentors, those that we trust and care about, they're more than willing to give us a boost. They're more than willing to give us that extra, kind of cheerleader effect when we're feeling like things are difficult and we just need to bounce something off of somebody. And to share those little plateaus when we have made a change, and we are meeting our goals, and that behavior is getting solidified. Most of those kinds of people will be your cheerleader and egg you on and give you a pat on the back and a good job. And that's not what this is all about, but I'm just suggesting that we can add those people to the process so that it increases the likelihood that we're going to stick with this when it's difficult, and we're going to actually make the change a habit in our lives. So that would be out and about from our families a little bit. If our families aren't a good support for us, maybe they're not. Again, no judgments, things happen. So maybe we look at a coach, a friend, a mentor, somebody that we trust and who's interested in our lives and who is willing to give us an encouragement once in a while when we need it. Now, I'm a therapist, and I realize that there are some people who need therapeutic support, and that's a perfectly viable option, especially if you have the time and the resources. And there are some people who, some of the thought processes, the behaviors, some of the things that are going on are very, very deeply ingrained, and it's probably best addressed with a professional. And so if you have that luxury and you have the ability to do so, you can certainly work with somebody such as myself in that kind of behavior and thought change in an effort to find greater peace and success in life. Some people have gone through very horrendous experiences in their life, deep trauma. Some people have very long-lasting and significant clinical depression and anxiety. And so if that is you, you certainly can utilize this process, maybe with some of the smaller issues in your life, but maybe some of those more deep-seated things. It would be beneficial to talk to somebody such as myself in a therapeutic setting in that process to help you with change. And that, again, is just another form of support that you can utilize in changing behavior and thought so that you can bring greater peace and success into your life. So today, all about support. I view myself as somebody who is supporting any of you that are trying to go through this process. And I appreciate the fact that you're letting me teach you some very basic principles in change, and that you're trying them. It's never easy. I know it's a long process to establish new habits of thought and behavior, but I do think it's possible. So think about the support that you could utilize in this process, and if that's even necessary for you. Some people are just fine, setting up the change schedule, doing the skills, walking through it themselves, and on they go. Others would like and need support, and you can ask for support from certain sources, and many of those sources will avail themselves to you if they know what you need specifically and how they can give you that support. So thank you so much for listening. I once again appreciate so much anyone who's walking this process and trying to find greater peace and success in life through change. Please let me know in the comments or messaging if there are any topics that you feel like could help you in this process, and we'll talk through those. Please like, please subscribe, please keep coming back, and I hope you have a great week. You all take care.